My future husband asked me to smile while his secret lover destroyed my expensive wedding dress. He thought I would cry and forgive his terrible mistake. I only said one word. My name is Emma. Today was my beautiful grand wedding day. I wore a stunning white silk dress. A famous French designer made it entirely by hand. It cost exactly $58,000. I stood in the bright hotel hall and waited for the sweet music. Suddenly, a loud group of people ran toward me. A young woman named Chloe led the noisy group. She was the childhood best friend of my future husband Liam. She held a large metal can in her hands. She sprayed thick dark red paint all over my beautiful white dress. Her friends laughed loudly and sprayed more dirty paint on my hair and my clean face. The thick red liquid ruined my expensive dress completely. The dark paint smelled like strong, dangerous industrial chemicals. The dirty red color looked exactly like fresh, wet blood. I stood completely still in pure shock. Liam walked over to me with a calm, happy smile. He did not yell at Chloe or stop her cruel friends. He gently touched my dirty red shoulder. He told me to relax and be a generous, forgiving bride. He said it was just a small, funny, simple joke. He wanted me to smile and continue the happy wedding. I looked deep into his lying eyes. I finally understood his dark, toxic game. Chloe was not just a normal childhood friend. She was a dangerous, greedy snake. Liam protected her completely and ignored my deep public pain. He expected me to throw a loud, crazy, emotional fit. He wanted me to look like a crazy, angry woman in front of our important guests. I refused to play his stupid, dirty game. I did not scream or cry hot, wet tears. I did not slap his handsome, lying face. Crying is for weak, emotional fools. I pulled the heavy diamond ring from my left hand slowly. I dropped the expensive shiny ring directly into his crystal glass of sweet champagne. The heavy ring sank to the bottom instantly. Liam lost his proud, happy smile. I looked at the massive crowd of shocked, wealthy guests. I spoke with a loud, clear, cold voice. I announced the absolute final end of the grand wedding. I canceled the marriage instantly. I turned my back and walked away in my ruined, bloody dress. My cold revenge started today. I sat alone in my quiet, modern apartment. My phone rang loudly on the clean glass table. It was Liam. I answered the fast call with a cold, silent face. He yelled angry, nasty words at me. He blamed me for ruining his perfect, happy day. He called me a crazy, selfish woman. He said I overreacted to a simple, funny joke. He demanded a fast, public apology. He believed I would crawl back and beg for his sweet love. I listened to his stupid, arrogant lies quietly. I ended the call without a single word. I called my smart, loyal best friend Sarah. She was a top professional lawyer in the city. She possessed a brilliant, sharp, cold mind. She did not panic during the crazy red wedding. She stayed behind to collect solid, clear legal evidence for my upcoming war. Sarah told me very good news on the phone. She secretly collected all the empty metal spray cans from the hotel floor. She put them inside secure plastic bags. The cans did not contain normal safe party foam. They contained strong, permanent industrial paint. The toxic red paint was impossible to wash away. Chloe bought the dangerous chemicals intentionally to destroy my expensive dress. Sarah promised to build a flawless, massive legal case. We needed more solid proof to crush their fake, innocent lies. I remembered a small hidden digital camera. I walked to Liam's expensive black car in the dark garage. I possessed a spare silver key. I opened the heavy car door and removed the small digital dash camera. I plugged the tiny memory card into my fast computer. I listened to the secret hidden audio files. I found a dark, terrible conversation from yesterday afternoon. I heard Liam and Chloe talking inside the quiet car. Chloe suggested the dirty red paint idea clearly. She wanted to humiliate me in public. She wanted me to cancel the massive, expensive wedding myself. Liam agreed to the dark, toxic plan immediately. He laughed and called me a stupid, rich, blind fool. He promised to marry Chloe after the loud public drama ended. He used me to steal my rich family money. My heart turned into solid cold ice. I realized they planned this cruel, bloody joke perfectly. They wanted me to look like the bad person. They wanted to steal my deep trust and my clean reputation. I saved the dirty audio file to a secure private drive. The invisible steel trap was fully ready. Chloe and her cruel friends felt very proud and arrogant. They posted loud, ugly messages on the bright public internet. They shared pictures of my ruined, bloody wedding dress. They called me a weak, sensitive loser. They laughed at my terrible public pain. They thought they won the massive dark game easily. They believed I was too sad and broken to fight back. They thought poor people could insult rich people without any heavy consequences. They were completely, totally wrong. My silence was not weak fear. It was a deadly loaded gun. A few quiet days passed quickly. Chloe sat in a cheap, noisy coffee shop with her toxic friends. A serious, tall man in a dark suit walked toward their small, dirty table. He was a strict, professional legal messenger. He handed Chloe a thick, heavy brown envelope. Chloe opened the thick paper envelope with a confused, fake smile. Her arrogant smile vanished instantly. She stared at the official legal documents in pure, absolute terror. Her shaking hands dropped her sweet hot coffee onto the floor. It was a massive, strict court summons. My brilliant lawyer Sarah drafted a flawless, heavy lawsuit. I sued Chloe, Liam, and all their stupid friends. I did not demand a cheap, useless public apology. I sued them for intentional property destruction and massive emotional damage. I demanded pure, cold, hard cash. The legal document listed the exact expensive price of my ruined French dress. It included the massive lost deposits for the luxury hotel and the expensive wedding food. The total financial demand was over $200,000. The massive, heavy number crushed their fake pride instantly. Chloe's friends started to panic and cry loud, ugly tears. They were poor, lazy people with zero savings. They could not pay the massive, heavy legal debt. They realized they committed a serious federal crime for a stupid joke. The dark, terrible reality hit their weak minds. They turned against Chloe like angry, hungry wolves. They blamed her for the dangerous, toxic plan. They demanded she pay the massive, heavy fine alone. Their fake, strong friendship shattered into tiny, dirty, broken pieces. The satisfying Cold War was officially beginning today. Liam received the exact same heavy legal envelope at his quiet office. He thought I would forgive his terrible, dark mistakes. He never expected a brutal, strict legal attack from his sweet, innocent bride. He tried to call my phone 50 times. I blocked his number completely. I needed to understand the dark, hidden truth completely. I invited a quiet, serious man to a private, expensive restaurant. His name was Ryan. He was the older, smart cousin of my lying ex-husband. Ryan hated Liam and his toxic, greedy family. Ryan sat across from me and drank dark, bitter coffee. He possessed a sharp, honest mind. I asked him about the secret relationship between Liam and Chloe. I wanted to know why Liam destroyed our expensive, beautiful wedding to protect a simple childhood friend. Ryan laughed a dry, cold, bitter laugh. He told me I was completely blind to the dark, ugly reality. Chloe was not just a normal, simple friend. She was Liam's absolute deepest true love. They dated secretly for 3 long years during their wild university days. Liam loved Chloe with his entire weak heart. But his controlling, rich mother, Mrs. Harper, hated the poor girl. Mrs. Harper thought Chloe was a cheap, dirty gold digger. She ordered her weak son to break up with his true love immediately. She threatened to cut his money. Liam was a greedy, cowardly little boy. He chose his mother's rich money over his true poor love. He broke Chloe's heart and left her in the dark rain. But he never forgot her sweet, toxic face. They continued to meet secretly in cheap, dirty motels. Mrs. Harper needed a perfect rich bride to fix her son's public image. She chose me because I was wealthy, polite, and very obedient. She used my clean, bright reputation to hide her son's dark, dirty secrets. She manipulated my innocent heart perfectly. She acted like a sweet, kind, loving mother to me. She bought me expensive gifts and cooked warm, fresh food. She wanted me to become a thick, solid wall between Liam and Chloe. I was just a rich, blind tool in their sick, twisted family game. Ryan finished his bitter coffee and stood up slowly. He told me to crush the toxic family completely. He said they deserved pure, absolute pain for their cruel, dark lies. I thanked him for the sharp, honest truth. My final beautiful trap was fully prepared. I sat alone in the quiet restaurant for a long time. I felt a sharp, cold anger burn deep inside my chest. I gave them my pure, honest love and my bright trust. They gave me dirty lies and a bloody, ruined dress. I promised to destroy them all. Mrs. Harper arrived at my secure apartment building the next morning. She carried a large, expensive fruit basket and a heavy, shiny gold box. She wore a bright, fake, happy smile. The massive, heavy lawsuit terrified her greedy, controlling mind. She wanted to fix the dark mess. I opened the heavy wooden door and let her inside. I secretly turned on a small digital audio recorder in my pocket. Mrs. Harper grabbed my hands and cried fake wet tears. She called me her sweet, beautiful, perfect daughter. Her sweet words sounded like dirty poison. She blamed Liam and his stupid, dirty friends for the ruined wedding. She promised to punish her son severely. She begged me to drop the massive, heavy legal lawsuit. She wanted to protect her proud, rich family name from a terrible, dirty public scandal. She opened the heavy, shiny gold box on the glass table. She offered me thick, solid gold bracelets and rare, bright diamonds. She promised to double my expensive wedding dowry instantly. She swore she would kick Chloe out of the busy city forever. She tried to buy my lost pride with cheap, shiny metal. She thought I was a stupid, weak, greedy girl. I looked at her fake crying eyes with pure, cold, absolute disgust. I pulled my digital phone from my deep, dark pocket slowly. I played the secret audio recording of Ryan's honest words. I played the dark truth about her cruel, twisted manipulation. Mrs. Harper heard her own dark, ugly secrets filling the quiet, bright room. Her fake, warm smile vanished completely. Her old face turned totally pale white. She realized her sweet, innocent bride knew everything. I knew she used me as a blind, stupid shield against Chloe. I told her to take her dirty fake gold and leave my clean house. I promise to destroy her son in the strict open court. I promise to make her proud family name a massive dirty public joke." Mrs. Harper shook with pure deep raw terror. She grabbed her heavy gold box and ran out the door like a scared ugly rat. The massive satisfying slaughter was finally happening. She tried to speak, but her dry throat failed completely. She realized my cold silence was far more dangerous than loud angry screams. I did not give her a single tiny drop of mercy. She created this terrible dark storm. Now she had to drown in the freezing rain. The strict city court locked Chloe and Liam bank accounts completely. Their cruel friends tried to buy expensive food and fancy clothes. Their shiny plastic credit cards declined instantly. They panicked and screamed loud angry words. They realized the massive heavy lawsuit was a real dangerous threat. The toxic friends turned against Chloe like wild, hungry dogs. They blamed her for the stupid dirty red paint plan. They refused to share the terrible legal punishment. They demanded she pay the massive heavy debt alone. Their fake loyal friendship shattered into tiny broken pieces. Chloe cried fake wet tears and ran to Liam fast. She demanded he use his rich family money to save her skin. She acted like a weak, innocent victim again. She told him he promised to protect her forever. Liam believed her sweet, toxic lies completely. He drove his expensive, shiny car to his mother's massive, beautiful mansion. He knocked on the heavy wooden doors loudly. He begged Mrs. Harper to pay the heavy legal fine. He wanted her to fix his massive dirty mistake. He acted like a spoiled, crying child. Mrs. Harper looked at her weak, stupid son with pure, absolute disgust. The massive public lawsuit ruined her proud family name completely. Her rich, powerful friends laughed at her terrible, dirty secrets. The internet exposed her fake, sweet lies to the entire wealthy city. She blamed Liam for bringing the toxic trash into her clean, perfect house. She yelled loud, angry words at his pale, sweating face. She refused to give him a single shiny gold coin. She officially kicked Liam out of the rich family forever tonight. She told him to go live in the dirty streets with his cheap gold digger. She promised to cut his massive trust fund instantly. She slammed the heavy wooden doors and locked them tight. She erased him from her wealthy, comfortable life completely. Liam stood outside the massive iron gates in total pure shock. He lost his powerful, rich mother and his expensive lifestyle instantly. He returned to Chloe with absolutely zero cash. The dirty rats were finally trapped in a tight, dark corner. The real suffering started today. Chloe waited for Liam in his luxury apartment. She expected him to bring a thick, heavy envelope of green cash. She smiled greedily when he opened the door. Her fake smile died when she saw his empty hands. The dark reality finally hit their weak minds. The important court date finally arrived. We sat inside a large, clean, quiet courtroom. I wore a sharp, elegant black business suit. My brilliant lawyer Sarah sat confidently next to me. She organized a mountain of solid, clear legal evidence on the heavy wooden table. Liam and Chloe walked into the bright room slowly. They wore cheap, simple clothes to look like poor, innocent victims. They hired a cheap, weak lawyer to defend their dirty lies. They looked incredibly tired and totally scared. They did not smile or laugh today. The strict, serious judge entered the quiet room. He asked Chloe to explain her terrible actions. Chloe cried fake loud tears immediately. She claimed the red paint was just a harmless, friendly joke. She said I overreacted and tried to ruin her young, innocent life. Liam stood up and supported her stupid, dirty lies. He told the strict judge I was a crazy, jealous, angry woman. He claimed my expensive French dress was a cheap fake copy. They tried to manipulate the smart judge with their fake, sad, emotional story. Sarah stood up with a cold, professional smile. She did not argue with their loud, stupid words. She handed a small silver digital drive to the court clerk. She asked the judge to listen to the secret hidden audio recording from Liam Darkcar. The quiet courtroom listened to their cruel, dirty voices. The speakers played their secret plan to destroy my wedding dress. Chloe's toxic laughter echoed in the large room. The strict judge shook his head in pure absolute disgust. He hated their arrogant, stupid lies completely. The judge hit his heavy wooden hammer loud and hard. He announced his final strict legal decision instantly. He declared me the absolute winner of the massive lawsuit. He ordered Chloe and Liam to pay over $200,000 for the total damages. He gave them exactly 30 short days to pay the massive heavy debt. If they failed to pay, he promised to seize their personal property. He threatened to put them on the permanent federal blacklist. Their financial lives were officially completely destroyed today. Chloe and Liam stared at the judge in pure raw horror. They could not speak a single word. They lost the dangerous dark game completely. I walked out of the quiet courtroom with my head held high. My cold, sharp justice was absolutely perfect. The strict 30 days passed very quickly. Liam and Chloe could not pay the massive, heavy legal debt. The federal bank seized Liam's expensive, shiny car and his luxury apartment. The police took all their valuable items to pay for my ruined wedding dress. They had to move into a tiny, dirty, cheap motel room. The small room smelled like old garbage and wet mold. They slept on thin, hard beds with dirty gray blankets. The terrible poverty destroyed their fake sweet romance completely. They fought every single day. Chloe finally showed her true ugly, toxic colors. She realized Liam was a completely broken, useless man. He possessed zero money and zero power. She hated the terrible smell and the freezing cold air. She did not want to suffer in the dark mud. She screamed loud, angry words at his tired face. She called him a weak, stupid, lazy coward. She blamed him for losing his rich mother money. She forgot she created the massive, dirty problem. She only cared about her own selfish, greedy, hungry needs. Liam tried to calm her down with sweet, gentle words. He promised to find a good job and buy her a warm house. Chloe laughed a cruel, nasty, loud laugh. She pushed him away with pure, absolute disgust. She refused to wait for his empty promises. She waited until Liam fell into a deep, heavy sleep. She sneaked toward his old leather wallet quietly. She stole his absolute last $100 with greedy, shaking hands. She put on bright red lipstick and a tight, cheap dress. She wanted to escape tonight. Chloe walked out into the dark, busy city streets. She went to a loud, expensive nightclub. She wanted to find a new, rich, foolish man to manipulate. She abandoned her true love without a single drop of regret. She was a true, toxic, heartless snake. Liam woke up the next morning in the cold, dirty room. He found his empty wallet on the hard floor. He finally realized the terrible, dark truth. He threw away a perfect, loyal, rich wife for a cheap, dirty bloodsucker. He lost absolutely everything completely. He fell to his shaking knees and cried loud, bitter tears. His chest burned with pure, deep regret and massive, agonizing pain. He destroyed his own bright, beautiful future for a fake, toxic illusion. He was totally alone in the dark, cruel world. A heavy, freezing rainstorm hit the dark city tonight. I finished a long, successful day at my busy corporate office. I wore a sharp, elegant black coat and carried a clean umbrella. I walked toward the bright glass exit doors with calm, peaceful steps. I saw a dark, wet shadow waiting outside the large building. It was Liam. He looked like a pathetic, broken street rat. His clothes were dirty and completely soaked. His handsome, proud face looked incredibly thin and terribly exhausted. He shivered in the cold wind. He saw me and ran toward the bright glass doors. He fell to his shaking knees on the hard, wet cement. He ignored the busy people watching him in the street. He cried loud, ugly, wet tears and grabbed my dark leather shoes tightly. He begged me to forgive his terrible, stupid mistakes. He promised to be a loyal, perfect husband forever. He told me he kicked Chloe out of his life completely. He swore he only loved my sweet, innocent heart. His fake, desperate lies made me sick. He wanted me to save him from his dark, miserable poverty. He wanted to return to his warm, comfortable, rich life. I looked down at his crying face with pure, cold, absolute pity. I did not feel any anger or warm sadness anymore. I did not yell or kick his shaking, dirty hands. I stepped back slowly and freed my clean shoes. I looked at him like a useless piece of wet garbage. I did not give him a single tiny drop of warm, gentle mercy. I told him our story died the moment he smiled at my ruined dress. I told him he deserved his dark, miserable fate perfectly. I opened my large black umbrella calmly. I turned my back on his loud, pathetic crying completely. I walked toward my sleek, expensive luxury car. My private driver opened the heavy door for me. I stepped inside the warm, quiet vehicle. I left Liam kneeling in the freezing, dark rain alone. I erased him from my bright, clean universe forever. He screamed my name loudly as the car drove away. His desperate voice faded into the noisy city storm. He chose the wrong path and fell into a deep, dark hole. I did not look back at the broken monster. The chapter was permanently closed. I completely removed the dark, toxic trash from my clean, beautiful life. My mind felt incredibly light and perfectly free. I focused all my strong energy on my successful professional career. I designed brilliant new fashion collections for my massive corporate company. My boss loved my sharp, creative mind and my hard dedication. The board of directors promoted me to the Supreme Design Director position. I received a massive new bright corner office and a huge salary increase. My professional dreams became a beautiful, bright reality. Meanwhile, Liam suffered the heavy, painful consequences of his stupid choices. He could not find a clean professional office job. The strict federal blacklist ruined his public reputation completely. He had to accept a terrible, low-paying physical job to survive the dark city. He carried heavy, dirty boxes in a freezing cold warehouse every single night. His soft hands became rough and completely broken. His back ached with pure, terrible agony. He spent his lonely breaks thinking about his massive, stupid regrets. He lived in pure, silent hell. I did not care about his dark, miserable punishment anymore. I celebrated my bright, glorious success tonight. I booked a private table at the most expensive luxury restaurant in the city. I invited my loyal, brilliant lawyer Sarah and my true, honest friends. We wore stunning, elegant designer dresses and bright, real diamonds. We ate warm, delicious, rich food and laughed loudly. We shared beautiful, bright stories about our successful, happy lives. I surrounded myself with pure, positive, strong female energy. The dark past was totally gone. I picked up a crystal glass of rich, expensive red wine. I looked at my sweet, loyal friends with a warm, genuine smile. I toasted to my absolute, brilliant, flawless victory. I toasted to my strong, independent, unbreakable spirit. I survived the toxic storm perfectly. Walking away from that fake, dirty marriage was my greatest, ultimate achievement. I did not need a weak, lying man to define my true value. I was a powerful, unstoppable, beautiful queen. I drank the sweet red wine and embraced my bright, glorious freedom.